Jerry Mallory here, SBNationPrivateTrade.com. Lions fans, the season is over. Congratulations to the Ravens. It's time for the Lions to make some moves. This is a pivotal year. Martin Mayhew, Jim Schwartz, this is probably their last chance to make a deep impression, or they'll be sent packing. We may even see Mr. Brian Zanders, who's already in-house, taking Mayhew's spot, but we don't know. What we do know is this. The draft is coming, free agency is coming, but before that, there are roster moves that can be made, and we saw one already. Surprise, surprise, Titus Young has been released by the Detroit Lions. Now, some of us, we're probably blindly holding on to the hope that Titus Young could garner a draft pick, even if it was a 6th or 7th round or a 5th rounder. But Titus was having none of that. He punches teammates, he's a malcontent, he lines up on the wrong side, and he gets on Twitter and acts a complete fool. So he's out of there. But we're going to give you an alternate reality. What if Martin Mayhew made the more prudent decision? There are a lot of options there in the second round. He chose Titus Young. Well, let's look at some of the other options there. 2011, the draft. Titus Young's on the board, but there are many other options. Let's first start with who we drafted. The second pick of ours in the second round, Mikel Ashore. We drafted him simply there in the second round. We don't trade again. We still have our 3rd round pick. There were some decent guys available. Maybe a John Moffitt, maybe a Will Rackley, interior lineman who we could have drafted. We surrendered the 3rd rounder to move back in the second round to get Mikel Ashore. If we don't draft Titus Young, who no longer plays for us, garners us no value, draft Mikel Ashore right there, we have a 3rd round pick. But we didn't. What if we went ahead, though, and drafted a receiver at that spot? Jerry, there are no other good receivers available when Titus Young was picked. Viewer, touche. There are a lot of guys. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Very good offense the Ravens displayed this year. A lot different from what we've seen. They've added a new element. They can stretch the field because there was a Maryland prospect at wide receiver who could do what Titus Young was supposed to do, stretch the field, speed guy, in Torrey Smith. How would Torrey Smith look next to Calvin Johnson? I'd say pretty good. He was available in the second round. Titus Young was picked instead. There are other guys. You got Greg Little. Not as good, but hey, he's better than what Titus Young will be for the Lions, which is nothing. Maybe we go with safety. Raheem Moore getting a lot of slack for giving up the big play against the Ravens, but he had a decent career at UCLA. He's a starter for an AFC West champion team. One bad play aside, we could use him. But no, Titus Young was the pick. Speaking of the Denver Broncos, Orlando Franklin. Can we use help at tackle? Gosh, a chairless free agent. Jeff Backus possibly retiring. Orlando Franklin, a starter, blocking, protecting the great Peyton Manning. We could have him, but no, we had Titus Young. And here's the one that hurts the most. Let's go to Lambeau Field. Let's go to Green Bay. We need a guy that can be an every down type player, kick return, punt return, receiver, running back. Percy Harvin 2.0. It's Randall Cobb. Great pickup by the Green Bay Packers. Could have been a great pick by the Lions, but no. You sense a theme? Yeah, we drafted Titus Young. You know who else they could have drafted in the second round? The Lions could have drafted me. That's right, Jerry Mallory, 2nd round draft pick by Detroit Lions. Why would this have been a better pick than Titus Young? Well, not for athletic reasons, no. I probably wouldn't have been an assistance to them in their 10-6 run. And, hey, I probably couldn't produce on the field, but guess what? I wouldn't have punched teammates. I wouldn't have lined up on the wrong side. Maybe I could have been just a dead body, a guy that could have, maybe they needed someone that was 6'3", 230 pounds, and probably runs worse than a 5 in the 40-yard dash. I tell you what, though, I would have been the best mail carrier. I would have cleaned. I would have swept. I would have folded jerseys. I would have got my Spygate on and looked at the playbooks of other teams. And when they cut me, after 1 week of training camp, it wouldn't have cost them the $900,000 that's costing them for cutting Titus Young. That's right. We don't get any draft picks for them. We outright cut them, and we have to surrender an estimate of about $900,000 that's going to affect our cap. Thank you, Titus Young. You've provided nothing for this team except comic relief over the past few months. Good riddance, goodbye. I hope you never, ever step foot in an NFL stadium. I hope the next time I see you is when I'm riding down the street. I look, I see a White Castle, I pull in, and there's Titus Young Sr. with his mean mug serving me a couple of sliders. There's a lot more moves to be made, guys. We know the Kyle Vanden Bosches, the Dominic Raiolas, the Steven Petermans, the Nate Burlesons. There's a lot of moves that can be made between now and free agency. What do you want to see? We got rid of one very divisive malcontent from our team. It's time to clean house. And this is just one of many moves that will be taking place. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Leave your thoughts, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And as always, this has been Jerry Mallory for SB Nation and PrivateTrade.com.